The market and demand analysis helps the project manager to understand how the firm's ability can be synchronized with market requirements. Market analysis studies the market needs and customer preferences for a given product idea, and demand analysis aims at calculating the aggregated demand for a product or a service. The first step in project analysis is to estimate the potential size of the market for the product proposed to be manufactured or services planned to be offered, and get an idea about the market share that it is likely to be captured. An in-depth study and assessment of various factors like patterns of consumption, growth, income, price elasticity, composition of market, nature of competition, availability of substitutes, reach of distribution channels, etc. are included in it. Market and demand analysis should be carried out in an orderly and systematic manner. The key steps can be summarized as follows: situation analysis and specifications of objectives, collection of secondary data, conduct of market survey, characterization of market, demand forecasting, market planning. So let's discuss all of these one by one. Market demand analysis or market identification is the first step. The market for the product or service is described in terms of following factors based on the information collected through market surveys and secondary sources. The factors are effective demand in past, present, and future, breakdown of demand, methods of distribution of sales and promotional techniques, types of consumers, listing of supplies and competition, government policies, and prices. Business cycle, on the other hand, is the process of identifying a secure and competitive edge in the respective business industries, organizations, and it seeks ways to increase efficiency and guarantee successful execution of a critical business process. In today's global business environment, the importance of business to market or customer service or cost competitiveness or quality are key factors in determining an organization's success or undesirable failure. Various project teams may want to focus on when developing a project management training program, but a handful of additional skills might also prove beneficial. Depending on the existing expertise within the project team, the need of organization and availability to use external sources, and the commitment of leadership teams to cultivate a truly world-class project offices. There are many niche project management tools that have been developed to help project managers with more specified challenges such as motivating team members to track their time or helping contributors, collaborators on a complex sequence of work. These tailored platforms provide team members with effective and sometimes creative ways to structure their work activities. Hence, we are going to take a closer look at these product niches. Situation analysis and specification of objectives is a process in which we try to identify that where and how to market the new product or services, how to identify the buyers of the new product or services, how to assess the current demand for the new product or service, analyze the demand distribution temporally and geographically, breakup of demand for new products and services of different sizes, acceptance of price and warranty conditions in the market, identification of channels of distribution most suitable for the new product or service, assessment of trade margins, which will include the distributors and the cost of distribution to carry it, and last but not the least, prospects for immediate sales. Collection of secondary data information is commonly known to all of us. There are various sources like national census, national sample survey reports, plan reports, statistical abstract or notional union, statistical yearbook, economic surveys, guidelines to industries, annual surveys of industries, annual reports of the Department of Commerce and Industry, the Exchange Directory, monthly bulletin of Reserve Bank, publications of advertising agencies. So, the market analyst must know who gathered the information, what was the objective, when was the information gathered, and when was it published. Who gather the information becomes important because the objective of collecting the information for different person or people could be different. So how an information gathered by someone else is going to be useful for my project or our project is a question that needs to be answered. So if the objectives of the information gatherer and the process of gathering the information have been successfully identified and ambiguity has been either defined or cleared, then the market analyst can actually come out with certain reliable conclusions. One more time, we need to identify the target population. How was the sample chosen? How the representative was the sample? How satisfactory was the process of information gathering? And what was the degree of sampling bias and non-responsiveness of the information gathered? What was the degree of misrepresentation by respondents? Conducting the market surveys actually involves the process. The information sought in market survey may relate to one or more of the following points: the total demand and rate of growth of the demand, demand in different segments of the market, income and price elasticity of the demand, motives for buying, purchase plans and intentions, socioeconomic characteristics of the buyers, unsatisfied needs. Unsatisfied needs actually is something which needs to be discussed in more elaborate terms. As it happens that humans actually get accustomed to the existing environment or facilities or the comfort zone that they have created for themselves. Once they first they work very hard to create that comfort zone. Once they have created the comfort zone, then they easily get bored within that comfort zone. So they try to look for other means of excitement or surprises. And that exciting or surprise part becomes the unsatisfied needs. So project managers are required to identify those unsatisfied needs which are motivating the buyers or customers to deviate or get out of the comfort zone that they themselves have created with their hard work and time. Then the attitude or bias towards the various products or the new products, distributive trade practices and preferences, satisfaction with existing products, and target population defining, sample collection scheme, sample size, development of questionnaire. These are the more common and more commonly known aspects of the market survey. Now the market needs to be characterized. Based on the information gathered from secondary sources and through market survey, the market or product services to be offered may be described in terms of effective demand on past and present, breakdown of demand, prices, methods of distribution and sales promotion, consumers, supply of competition, government policy. Demand forecasting is something which is practiced for very long, and there have been instances when the forecasted demands were not met. Since demand forecasting is all about future and consumers' preferences can change at any given point of time. That's why, though demand forecasting companies like to rely on it, but there are instances when the forecasted demands are not met. So companies are required to be ready with plan in both ways. One plan one could be what or how company would behave or operate in the market if the forecasted demands are being converted into actual reality. Or second case is that the forecasted demands are not being converted into the actual reality and the actual demand is lower or higher than the demands forecasted. There are certain qualitative methods to forecast the demands: time series projection, causal methods, Julius executive opinion method, chain ratio method, consumption level method. All these methods required to be applied depending upon the project type, product type, market type, and the customer type. The errors in demand forecasting is something with which all the project managers are basically very, very wary of. So, In order to avoid the errors in demand forecasting, the data about past and present market should be analyzed. The lack of standardization actually leads to errors in demand forecasting. The lesser number of observations, influence of abnormal factors, unrealistic assumptions, the unreliable exercise of data requirements, and the environmental changes all can lead to errors in demand forecasting. Market planning is an aspect which usually has the components like current marketing situation, where the organization stands now, who is the customer group, and what is the need of that customer group, and how large or diverse is the customer group. What kind of product services is your company able to provide or the project is able to provide, how the customer groups are reached to, what is the type or intensity of the competition, what factors the environment has on your organization or your company or the product. And last but not the least, opportunity and issue analysis.